Can you tell us about the U.S. government programs available to farmers to encourage on-farm sustainability?
There are three programs come to mind. The first is Conservation Reserve Program, or what we call CRP. Some of the ground that I spoke of earlier that is too steep of a grade or too high a hills to be able to crop. We plant into native season grasses, Illinois native prairie grasses, and we maintain this. You enter that program for a 10-year base, and it gives a wildlife cover. It also helps preserve that soil and increase the organic matter in that soil, which is a very important component of the soil. Also, we have about 75 acres on the farm. There's also 9 acres of what we call pollinator plots. And these are native wildflower species that keep something in bloom all the way through the growing season. From April all the way through the end of October, we will have something in those pollinator plots in bloom. And that really promotes our pollinators, particularly bees and other pollinators that are out there, in addition to providing the other wildlife cover for birds, rabbits, just anything in the wildlife area. A second program is the EQIP grant program. The terrace systems that I was talking about earlier are a fairly expensive installation, or they're a fairly expensive project to undertake. They cost about $500 to $600 an acre, and they are it involves a pretty good time process to install those over a couple of years, because you put in a tile, plastic drainage tile, and then the terraces are evenly spaced down the grade of the hill, and they come in and they impede the flow of water. You pool up water behind those, and then the tile takes it out at non-erosive velocity to be able to get rid of that. The government, the USDA, has come up with the EQIP grant, and it assists farmers, or does cost share on those practices, to be able to aid the farmer in being able to install these practices. And it's been very useful to the American farmer over the past few years in being able to install a number of different conservation practices. We talked about no-till. We also use grass buffer strips around any sensitive waterways, rivers, drainage ways that we have to catch any runoff that there might be. These grass strips will help to filter those. Just a number of conservation measures out there that technology has helped us advance over the past few years, and to make better use of those and do a better job of holding those nutrients in that soil in place where it needs to be. The last government program, which is not necessarily a program, but the USDA requires us to register every year to certify what our crop acreages are, as far as yields, the practices that we've used on conservation lands that are highly erosive, that we've used conservation planting, that we have adhered to those different steps that we need to do, even getting into some things with energy usage. Those have been very instrumental in the use of the USEC Soil Sustainability Assurance Protocol, and those are used as our third-party audit and verification for that sustainability certification. So those three have really been a big benefit to the American farmer in being able to assure that we have a sustainable crop out there, and that we're being as efficient as possible with our input usage, with our energy usage. What we try to do is grow more on the same amount of land, and with a lot of the technology that we have out there today, we hope to achieve in the future even growing more on less land. It takes approximately 10,000 years to create 1 inch of topsoil, so we have to be very diligent as farmers in preserving that topsoil and being able to keep, it's the most important thing that we have. Topsoil and water are the two main components that you really have to be successful in farming, and to be profitable in farming and dependable as a supplier of grains.